Hey YouTube, today I have a heavily unscripted video for you. Today I'm going to talk about Void subclass related exotics. With Void subclass changes coming to Witch Queen, some of these exotics might get some indirect buffs. On the same coin though, they could also be getting indirectly nerf. But just to be prepared for the former, here's a list of exotics worth keeping or farming for. If you're a gamer that likes to do day one raids especially, some of these exotics could become very strong. So let's look at them. I'm going to start with my hunter first. Again, this is just going to be completely unedited, unscripted for the most part, so it's just going to be raw. Alright, first we're going to start with Omniculus. Already it's a very strong exotic, but how it works, you gain a second smoke bomb charge and you have damage resistance while invisible. When you make an ally invisible, they gain damage resistance. While invisible, you gain melee energy. So again, it's already very strong. It's great for invisibility builds. If they make aspects and fragments around invisibility builds, this exotic can become even stronger. So definitely something worth getting if you don't already have it. Next, we're going to look at the Guizin Vest. Its exotic perk: each spectral blade kill you make before going into stealth will restore more of your super energy. History has shown with exotics that restore super energy, they've typically become very good. I'll be completely honest, I don't think I've ever used this exotic in PvE, just because spectral blades in PvE honestly aren't that great. But again, anything that restores super energy has the potential to be very good, so I would be on the lookout for these as well. Next we're gonna go down to boots here. Orpheus Rigs. These really need no introduction, but I'll just cover my bases here. Its exotic perk provides ability energy for each enemy tethered by deadfall anchors, and Movius Quiver has more shots. This exotic has been around since Destiny 2 launched, and honestly, I don't see them getting any worse necessarily. Honestly, don't really see them getting much better either. They're already very good. Very good for ad control and feeding your teammates supers in raids and nightfalls and such. So very good boots to have. If you don't already own a pair of these, I imagine you probably have them in collections. I feel like you should have gotten them at one point or another, but if you haven't, these are something to look out for sure. Lastly, for the hunter here, we're looking at Star Eater Scales. Its exotic perk: you gain additional super energy from orbs of power you pick up. While your super energy is full, picking up an orb of power overcharges your super, causing you to gain a burst of healing when cast and a bonus to your super damage. At maximum overcharge, you also gain an overshield. I know these were nerfed a while back at one point, but still potentially good in many situations. This isn't specific to the Void subclass, but could still be useful with coming changes, depending on what they are. We don't know. It's still a good exotic to have regardless. So next, I'm going to switch over to my Titan. All right, so we're gonna look at the Helm of Saint 14. Its exotic perk: enemies that enter the Ward of Dawn are blinded, while allies that pass through gain an overshield. Guarding with Sentinel Shield blinds nearby enemies. Now, I'll be honest, I really have only used this exotic when using a Bubble Titan. I've never used it while, using the Sentinel Shield or guarding with the Sentinel Shield. I've never really used it for that. I've only mainly used it for bubble, but it's very good with a bubble. It's very good for holding down certain key areas. Any enemies that walk inside obviously are blinded and can't do anything, and you also get an overshield from stepping in the bubble. So very good Titan exotic here. Next, we're looking at the Doomfang Pauldron Gauntlets. These, I think, are slept on a little bit. I think they're pretty good. How they work: void melee kills give super energy. Again, anything that gives super energy is very good. While Sentinel Shield is active, melee kills recharge Shield Throw, which extends your super on hits. So something that also extends your super's duration is also very, very good. I know I used these a lot when Leviathan first came out, and I had a blast with them. They're very, very good. They're very strong. So definitely something to look out for. I think these are slept on quite a bit. And then lastly, for the Titan, we have Ursa Furiosa. Its exotic perk: move faster while guarding when Sentinel Shield is active. Guarded damage converts to super energy when the super ends. Now, I know these were nerfed, but they're still very, very, very strong. Definitely worth having on any, kind of Sentinel Shield Titan. It's a very strong build. You get a lot of super energy back for blocking damage, and you also create a bunch of orbs for your teammates. Just overall, a very, very good exotic to have. That's it for Titan. Not really a lot of exotics on the Titan. Alright, so now we're going to go to my Warlock. And Warlock, I think, has the most, and it's not just because I main a Warlock. I just genuinely think there's a lot more opportunities to be had here. First, we're going to look at Nezarac's Sin. Void damage kills increase ability recharge rate. Now, first thing I want to point out, it's void damage kills, so it doesn't have to be from a void subclass. It's void damage of any sort, so you can use a void weapon to basically trigger this exotic perk here. However, it is best used with a void subclass. Obviously, the more void damage you have at your disposal, the better this exotic is going to treat you. So this is just generally a very strong exotic. It just recharges your abilities energy like crazy, and it's very, very good. Highly recommend. All right, we're gonna look at Felwinter's Helm. This one is slept on quite a bit, I think, but let's look at his perk, and I'll kind of break it down here. So, powered melee final blows create a burst of energy that weakens nearby targets. Finishers and final blows against more powerful targets increase the radius and burst of the length of the weakening effect. All right, it's kind of a mouthful, but let me break this down and why I think it'll be good. So, we were shown in one of the teasers for Witch Queen that it would appear that the Warlock is getting some kind of ranged void melee ability. Like I said, it was kind of broken down by a lot of people, and that's what people seem to gather, is there's a ranged Warlock kind of melee ability, similar to like the Chaos Reach branch and the Stormcaller, or in the Arc subclass for the Warlock. You have like that kind of ranged arc melee attack. It kind of seems like the same kind of thing, just with void damage. So if you can have powered melee final blows create a burst of energy that weaken nearby targets and have that ability as a ranged ability, that could potentially be very, very good. So that's one reason why I recommend this helmet. It's very, very good. Very much slept on, like I said. Next, we're going to look at Skull of Dire Ahamkara. Its perk provides additional damage resistance while using Nova Bomb, and Nova Bomb kills grant super energy. Again, it's another one of those grant super energy exotics. It's going to be very good. I know back in the day this was very strong, like a little bit too much so, and it had since been nerfed. But with any kind of subclass changes coming, this could potentially be very, very good again. So definitely worth hanging on to. All right. And then lastly, in the helmet slot, we have Veritys Brow. Got another paragraph here to read through, so bear with me. All right, weapon final blows with a damage type matching your subclass energy grant death throws, which provide a grenade damage bonus and grants you grenade energy. When you have death throws and throw a grenade, nearby allies gain greatly increased grenade regeneration for a short time. All right, let me break this one down for you too. Weapon final blows with a damage type matching your subclass energy. So in the case of this discussion, it's going to be a void subclass. Grant death throws, which provide grenade damage bonus and grants you grenade energy. So if you get kills with a void weapon final blows with void damage, basically grants you grenade damage bonus, and it grants you grenade energy back. So, with that in mind, it has been teased that Adrenaline Junkie is going to be getting some kind of buff. To what extent exactly, we don't really know, but I could see this pairing very, very well with Adrenaline Junkie, the perk. It's basically how Adrenaline Junkie works. You get a kill with a grenade, it increases your weapon damage. And how this exotic helmet works, you get weapon final blows with the matching energy type or matching element type. It grants you grenade damage bonus. So they basically, the damage bonuses feed into each other. You get increased grenade damage bonus for weapon kills and increase weapon damage for grenade kills. So there's going to be constantly feeding into each other. If you have an Adrenaline Junkie weapon or an Adrenaline Junkie void weapon, that could potentially be very, very good with this exotic. I could see it being very fun to use. Also, a weapon with Demolitionist would be very strong with this as well. So, something to look out for. All right, next, going down to Gauntlets, we have Contraptions Hold. Its exotic perk: resist incoming damage while charging your void grenade with Chaos Accelerant, Feed the Void, or handheld Supernova. Charged void grenades return a random amount of grenade energy on a hit. Now, these are already pretty valuable in their own right. However, I don't see the grenades themselves changing. Means they've been the same grenades since the game launched. I'm fairly certain of that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they've been the same. So I don't see the grenades themselves changing, but again, with the aspects and fragments being added to the Void subclass and potentially some new abilities with the Void subclass, we don't know how good grenades could be. So this would be really good for, just getting grenade energy back and improved charging on those grenades. So something to hang on to. And lastly, for the Warlock, we have Nothing Manacles. You gain an additional scatter grenade charge, enables tracking for your scatter grenade projectiles. So you get an additional grenade charge. It's very good, and it also enables tracking for scatter grenades. Again, this could be another good pair with Adrenaline Junkie or Demolitionist, and if there's going to be any other kind of aspects or fragments centered around grenades, this could be a very strong exotic. All right, that is all my void related subclass exotics that I think you should grind for. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was insightful. Witch Queen is still over 4 months away, but it'll be here before you know it. So hopefully this gives you plenty of time to grind for these exotics. If something piqued your interest or something you may not have thought of, hopefully this helped. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. I'll have a link for that in the description. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in Witch Queen. Thanks for watching.